you said like MK is out of it, and so I had pulled back up. I wanted to go back and find that tweet, like when I had made that video that went like a little semi-viral on Twitter. And your response was that, well, first of all, I want to like read two of your responses because I want you to elaborate on them. So the first one that made me reach out when you was like, in all seriousness, if you still playing MK in the state and the scene that it's in right now, that's cool and all. You can play what you like for fun. But if you're trying to make some significant noise seriously and competitively, it might be time to look at some better options. So then I had reached out and I made a point about like the second best player going to like being known for Tekken, which is Ninja Killer. And I was like, a lot of people don't know that like he played that game initially. But then you have followed up and said the game was played majority because of the money and not for the love. And as soon as the support and the money dried up, people moved on. So do you feel like that's how it's kind of always been for the MK scene? It's never been about the game itself?
No, I would say uh, it really didn't start being about the money to like after MKX, because that's really when we was like really touching the bag. You know what I'm saying? I made quite a bit of money off that game, and so did others between the ESLs and other little events that they held in between. I mean, we were getting flown out to places, getting paid to flown out to get flew out to places and go out there and compete and make even more money. And they had events where it's like if you won, then they'll fly you back out to that event to defend like your title. I forgot the name of it though. I done competed in so much shit over the years, but yeah, we really touched the bag in MKX with ESL season 1 and 2. I think they had season 3 as well. And then after that, people had that bag now, so that's pretty much what it came about. And so you fast forward, um, MK11. I don't think anybody would have played it uh, the duration that they played it if it wasn't no significant money on the line. Back I started MK9, bro. Like we played solely off just passion and a love for the game. Back then, MK still had that MK feel. It didn't take itself too serious. The story mode was good. Um, just everything about it. You had combat codes, you had toasty boosts. You had different regions that would click up, you know what I'm saying, and travel to these events just to compete against each other, just out of pride. Um, but over time, I mean, you want the scene to grow, right? And that's what it did. But um, in doing so, you want to have a way to keep them bills off your back and get some money in your pocket. But in doing so, um, it's kind of on the developer too. Like you got to make sure that the passion stay there. And I don't feel like our developer did that. They pretty much did out with the old and in with the new. So many legacy players have dropped off and went into other things because the developer didn't keep the passion there. They didn't keep those who rock with the game and built their name off titles like MK9 and MKX. They kind of removed those guys, but that's what you get when you don't keep some sort of legacy and you always trying to reinvent the wheel. Um, you're gonna it's like somebody playing basketball, football for a number of years, and then like let's just say basketball for example, and you know how the game is played and it's been played for many years, and that's why people keep their passion. But if they say all of a sudden, all right, you ain't gonna dribble the ball no more, you just gonna carry that bitch and run down the court, like
All right,
like
so
what?
let me ask you this thing, because you made a very particular comment just now when you were like, you feel that MK11 kind of like moved away from what kept the legacy players around, right? But at the same time, like considering that that game sold the most, like what would you say is the reason that it seemed to do so well, but then it's like frowned upon in this way that you
It
mentioned?
did well off the back of MKX, man.
You think
You know
it's
what I'm
just
saying?
that?
Like that game, like I played that game competitively. I went to many tournaments, like many streams. You know what I'm saying? I've watched how fans react to that game. That game was loved, bro. You know what I'm saying? And don't listen to the people online who say the game was shit. It's just because
You
they
talking about
thought it was
X right
shit.
now, right? You referring to X?
X,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
X, yeah, X is the reason MK11 got the sales it did because people was really fucking with X. X was a dope game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it had its 50/50s, but like towards the end, they toned that shit down. Like, I mean, you had armored. you had you had armor launchers at first, but then they switched it to where armor was more of a get off me tool towards the end of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and they had some of the dopest DLC. Uh, competition was different back then. I mean, all the killers was playing against each other, and they was in the forefront streaming, going competing in online events, offline events. So those killers and those top players was always in the forefront. It ain't like it is today where people clicked up or don't want to play or don't want to grind. Like them boys, it was a different element. You know what I'm saying? Like every day you tune into that game, you're gonna see the best of the best going against each other or either streaming. You know what I'm saying? And you don't really see that anymore with the newer titles. Because people dropped off. People don't stream the game like that anymore. Like
Let me ask the question based on what you said with that, right? Because so I would say like around those older games, because I bought X, but I didn't really play it that much, right? I came back into 11, obviously like built my audience like in 11, and it just went from there. But I'm not a competitive player, so I don't see this with the lore that you do. But when you talk about that there are like cliques now, and people don't seem to play each other as much for the love like they would have in the past. Do you think that is based on just things within the game, or you think that's based on things outside the game? Because I do feel like the Mortal Kombat community has this weird, fun-loving part of the game, but it's also like this toxic community, and it didn't feel like that a few years ago. So do you think that plays a role into why there are cliques and people seem more distant, or do you think that's just coincidence?
yeah, I think people just I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if it's because when they announce these pro tours and people want to keep what I'm saying their strats to certain individuals or training partners or I don't know. It's weird. I don't know exactly like how I got like that. I don't know if it's just because it's more online versus offline events. But it's weird, bro. I don't know why or how it became like that, and it probably got to do with more so of the online environment and the toxicity that lies there. That probably kind of split the community uh into more of like what it is today, where people just rather they rather just click up with each other, and maybe you feel safe in that space with those individuals versus going outside of that. I don't know, bro. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, for all the games I play, it feels like Mortal Kombat community is the most toxic by far, and I think this is something that Tom said, and you kind of alluded to this yourself. Tom Brady said this before, because they don't have a legacy system and they keep changing the game. It's almost as if that the Mortal Kombat community isn't necessarily a community because it's if you like like basically you like MK9, you like MKX, you like MK11, you like MK1, right? But it seems that people who like certain games, they despise the other one, so it creates like this massive thunderstorm of just like real issues where people are going back and forth versus us all kind of enjoying the same thing and just talking about skill of the game. Like, do you feel that
Yeah.
same way as well? Because well, it's hard for me to say because, like I said, I didn't play X and I didn't play 9. I played X, but I didn't love it. I played 11 first, so I didn't have the patience for it. I don't really love
Mhm.
1, but it's because I don't love cameos. I think MK11 is the best one, but that's only because I'm talking about replay factor when I say that.
When you changing all these games, you switching them up. You're not keeping legacy. Um, it's like Tom said. It's hard for the community to build on anything. Like now that you got this whole WB, Netflix, Paramount shit. Who knows when we're gonna get the next title, right? So it's like we need a MK game or NRS game in general that we can build off of, right? But can't do that because the community is at war with each other because um, this certain community over here, this MK11 community, they might say, hey, let's bring this back, and then you got MKS community or MK9 community or MK1 community saying, no, that game shit, we ain't going back to that, and
Hmm.
vice versa with all the other titles. When you don't create legacy and you don't keep that passion and you don't retain your old player base and fans, then it's gonna get convoluted and people are gonna start going to war with each other. And so and now there's not gonna be any way. Well, they trying to bring MKX back to the forefront.
Hmm.
Um, they're trying to hold tournaments for it, like TNS and stuff like that. But um, I just don't feel like we're gonna get that one solid game that's gonna bring the whole community together from these various other communities. Maybe MK9, because MK9 is a hella fun game. It's broke, yeah, but it still got a shit net code. So it's gonna be hard for people who are used to a better net code to go to that game and give it a real try and support it unless we do offline events. If we can get like those offline events to hold tournaments like MK9 or MKX, then maybe I have a shot. But still, I don't feel that this community is gonna travel for those fucking games because it's all about the money now. Like fuck the passion and the love. Niggas trying to get a bag. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
When did
I feel like
when did that start though? Because you like you mentioned you said they a few times in regards to like flying out for tournaments and stuff. So I was wondering like when you said they, were you referring to sponsors or kind of like the whole Final Combat situation, like the dev team itself, or like the NRS Dev Team? Like who are you referring to when you said they in regards to that?
I feel like this community, even though we got a lot of more young people in the game now, it's still a lot of older people. So it's like we used to be able to travel off the love of it when we was younger, but now it's like we gonna really go to these tournaments. We gotta take other things into consideration. You know what I'm saying? Like people missing work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if we did do an MK9 or MKX, you gotta expect it's gonna be. You gotta expect to probably see like some older faces, but it's like do the younger cats even care to support and revisit those games, or are they on to like other stuff? So it's like everybody got to get in line. Like everybody got to be on the same mentality, and everybody got to be willing to put that time and invest that time and support whatever title that y'all or they want to bring back to the forefront and support. Because it's like the Smash community, they kept their game going even when it was on the brink of death, built that shit and brought it back to life. I just don't feel like our community is capable of doing that because it's so split and everybody has different opinions on what was a good game to them or what makes a good NRS game to them. So
Yeah, I guess like with the Smash example, you saying it's easier for them to do that because they got one game to focus on. But basically, like our community couldn't do it because they don't know what game to. Like for me, I would say I haven't played X and up, but I had enough fun. If I would have played it in its prime, I'm sure I would have just adapted as I do with any game that I play. But I think the sweet spot is between MK11 and MKX. Only because MKX seems to have the fun combos that everybody want, but I love MK11's art style. It feels like the Mortal Kombat universe. Well, when it comes to Mortal Kombat 1, do you think Mortal Kombat 1 is a good game? Like, do you enjoy it? Have you played it?
hell no, I don't enjoy that game, bro.
I tried to play yesterday. I think it's trash,
game.
bro. I tried to play it yesterday, and I played it for 20 minutes, and it was like, this is why I don't play this shit. Like, so a few things happened. I got matched up with the same person in Combat League 3 times in a row, so I went to casual.
Yeah.
Got matched up with the same guy 3 out of 4 times, and then when I did play him, dog shit, net code, janky ass shit. I'm just like, bro, how are we here? Like, it feels like nobody's playing it, but I keep seeing people talk about it online. And like when I made that video that went viral, I was just saying, are we ready to tell the truth? And people are defended. But then when I get on the game, why am I running into the same 5 players if it's multiple people playing? That's the shit I can't explain.
Yeah, bro, that game, it's like I listen to Tom a lot. Like Tom be spitting some shit, bro.
Tom
people
knows
might not
shit,
like
yeah.
Tom, bro, but Tom be saying some shit, bro. I be agreeing with that boy. It's like he said, man. In that game, you got incomplete characters and you got the cameos doing the rest of the work. You know what I'm saying? You got the cameos doing the heavy lifting. But if you take away cameos, you really got incomplete characters. I mean, some of the characters can play without a cameo, but a good portion of the cast, they need cameos in order to feel like complete characters. And then it's the cameos itself. Just, I mean, you're gonna see the same 3 or 4 cameos for pretty much the entire cast, sprinkled in with maybe a different cameo here or there, but. I mean, that game, you turn it on. As soon as I turn the game on, like, with the when they did release Havoc, well, not release them, but like when they did release that
The Chaos Rain
shit,
shit.
Chaos Rain shit, the Chaos Rain shit. You go to the you boot up the game and it's all. Like, I don't even know how you explain it, bro. It's just it's like gloomy from the beginning, bro. It's like now the water got like acid in it and dead leaves and shit. Like it's just a depressing ass game when you turn that bitch on and then you play the game and it's just not fun. It's not fun to watch. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you have the Evo champions for this game, and you have those up and coming players who made a name for themselves in MK1. But do people really give a fuck? Because they don't enjoy the game. They don't enjoy watching the game. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad though because those players put the time in and to be great, but it's like nobody cares though. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares to really watch the game. And then you see Final Combat and they didn't. It's clear they didn't give a shit about giving the game a proper send off. You know what I'm saying? You got
Mm-hmm.
the roof falling on people's head. You got
Oh, I didn't see
uh
that. The roof fell in.
yeah, like the roof was falling, like rain getting through the building, like
Oh, that's
uh
fucking crazy. I didn't know that about. I didn't watch it this year.
yeah. If you go to I think Rewind did like a little video on it, like a little vlog, and he showed his experience being there, and yeah, bro, it wasn't what was up.
So
But that's
no, go
yeah.
ahead. My fault. Go ahead. My fault.
No, I'm just saying like that just shows you like they don't really care to grow this shit. It's been 15 years, bro. Like they're trying to build this scene, and it had a point where it seemed like it was gonna be on the up and up, but after MKX and Injustice 2, that shit just yeah, bro. It just went all downhill. And now we don't know when we're ever gonna get another title, if we do get another MK game or Injustice game. But I would advise people not to wait around. There's plenty of other fighting games out here, man, that you can jump into and test your skills. But you would be a fool to try to wait around and see if another game is gonna get dropped in the next 2 or 3 years. I highly doubt it. You think it's gonna be another game in the next 2 or 3 years?
What I was thinking and hoping is this, right? Because I've been saying this for a minute, but obviously with that Netflix WB Paramount shit, like things got a little more confusing. But what I was saying was this: when it was announced that they was going to cancel that DLC, like the third Combat Pack 3, I'm like, okay, so they know it's a loss. Like obviously they didn't sell enough of Chaos Reigns. What I was thinking is that you're trying to make back the money that you lost in development and all that shit that like you didn't recoup, right? So it doesn't make any logical sense to me to make an Injustice 3 because even though we love Batman and Superman, all the auxiliary characters aren't enough to really sell and make back the money they want to make. Adding to the fact that I think the majority of the fan base, including me, we don't really feel like we got a Mortal Kombat game since Mortal Kombat 11 because whatever the fuck they were doing with Mortal Kombat 1, that game clearly, it's not a Mortal Kombat game and it wasn't meant to be one. How they pivoted to one, I don't know. Like, even the
You feel
cameos,
like that too, huh?
I've heard some people say that, and I haven't really like researched to confirm it because I got to a point where I was just so done with the bullshit with Mortal Kombat 1. But it's like when I go back and play Mortal Kombat 11, even Mortal Kombat X, like what you were saying about the gloomy acid and the leaves and all that shit. When Mortal
Mhm.
Kombat 1 first came out and it was that beautiful backdrop with the dragon, it's like this is too pretty. This isn't Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm saying? And then
Mhm.
the cameo system to me feels more like if Batman called in Robin for like an assist attack or something like that. So I feel
Mhm.
like it was an Injustice thing. But I think that if this game pretty much died in 2024, is on life support in 2025, I would almost hope that there would be some type of announcement next year for a Mortal Kombat game that drops by 2027. And I've been saying, and this could be some wishful thinking too, it's either going to be the game that kills the franchise or it's going to be the best Mortal Kombat they ever made because they're so rock bottom right now you can't go anywhere but up. You can either go up or you're going to kill the franchise, one or the other. That's how I feel.
They're very capable of killing the franchise. So that's the interesting thing, right? It's like where do you go from here? Do you finally say fuck it? We gonna go ahead and try to build off what was successful. And when I say that, I mean like, are
11.
you gonna try to take some elements from? Nah, I would say more so MK9 and MKX. But what I will say is I love the um, how MK11 looked in terms of like how large the characters were,
Mm-hmm.
the graphics of the game. If we can get that like a MK11 looking game with maybe some uh, MKX combos or like them to bring run back. Honestly, I know people don't like run, but I think it helps speed up the game. But also, uh, MK11 towards the end in terms of movement was not bad. They
Yeah.
definitely sped it up from when I initially got my hands on it at the MK11 release event. I forgot what year that was, but when I first
I
got
want to
my
say
hands on the game,
19, I think,
probably
18.
probably so. Yeah, probably 2018, 2019. When I first sat down and played it at the reveal, bro, I was like, "What the fuck is this, bro? Like, this shit is slow as hell. Like, it didn't feel nothing." Because we coming off the experience with X. You know what I'm saying? It was such a fast paced game, with crazy good combos, and it felt fluid. But then you come to MK11, it just didn't feel anything like that. But they did improve the game as far as like movement and how fast the game played, and even combo wise towards the end. But I just didn't like the whole what was that? What's that fucking mechanic?
Wave dashing? Or are you talking about
No, not
breakaway?
wave dash.
Breakaway, what everybody hate?
Breakaway, yeah,
Yeah, breakaway was trash.
breakaway,
Yeah.
and crushing blows. Some of that shit didn't make sense to me. And then even the flawless block, where it's like you hit somebody and then you got to be careful of pressing the button after that because they can do that shit back, and then you get lunged for trying to take advantage of your frames. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
But I kind of like that shit. I thought that was all chess match shit. I mean, like, of course, it would backfire on you sometime, but I feel like it was innovative with the exception of breakaway. I thought breakaway was like the worst mechanic in a fighting game ever.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I would like to uh, whatever the next MK game be, kind of look like MK11, but plays more like a MK9 and MKX. Because those were the games that resonated not only with uh, competitors but also the fans. You know what I'm saying? Um, MK11. I mean, they got love at tournaments. I give it that. It got love at tournaments, but nobody was really following it or watching it outside of those big tournaments that was being played on when it was on the big stage. You know what I'm saying? Same thing, even worse with MK1. Like right now, I wouldn't even say it's on life support. That shit, I feel like that shit dead, bro. Like
When
ain't
I say that,
nobody
everybody
checking.
gets mad, bro. When I say that same shit, that's how I end up viral on Twitter on accident. People get mad when I say it, but I'm like, bro, the numbers speak for themselves. I don't think it should have been at Evo 2024, to be honest.
Yeah, that shit ain't nobody checking for it, bro. I mean, shout out to those online tournaments that are still running and supporting the game. Like they told me, man. Like they told me when I was trying to voice my opinions and gripes. They told me play what you like, man. Just go play what you like. You know, uh, quit complaining. So it's like, hey, bro, I'm over here playing what I like. I'm playing fighting game of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
So
mean, I do that same thing, but it's also like for instance, if you of all the games that you're playing right now versus like you playing that, if you could have one franchise be back on the map for you to enjoy, would it be Mortal Kombat for you?
yeah,
Yeah,
I would love from the bro. I love Mortal Kombat. Like, and that's the same with anybody who you know giving harsh criticism. They is because they love Mortal Kombat, bro.
yeah.
We all want a great game, bro. But we not finna sit up here and act like everything hunky dory, bro. I'm not finna. No, I'm not finna do that. If I feel like the game is shit, I'm gonna say the game is shit, bro. And if I get blackballed because of it, oh well, bro. Like this shit ain't never. Like, it don't matter to me, bro. Like I was in this shit before the money was there. So it's like if I don't get uh recognition or support from the developer, it is what it is, bro. That just speaks more so of if that is the case. I'm not saying it's the case from them, but if that is the case, it speaks more so about them. You know what I'm saying? So, but I understand the people who um make a living off this shit, and they gotta be more careful with the things they say and how they say it because they want to stay in the good graces. It's cool and all, but at least have some honesty with it. And honestly, bro, this game it's not been great. I paid 110, bro. You gotta have the love to do that, bro. I paid 110. It's like somebody come. It's like you paying for a service, bro, and you want a professional to do the service right, and they do a half-ass job. And because I do HVAC, bro, so it's like if I go in your home and you trying to get like
service done, trying to get some shit fixed, and I only fix it enough to where that bitch will last or not show any uh, signs of failure for like what, maybe a month or two, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then you back at the same shit. It's like, damn, this shit broke again. Like I thought you fixed it. Like, nah, bro. That's how I feel like with this game. Like, why are you going to praise when you got shitty service? You know what I'm saying? I can't do it, bro. Like I paid good money and I didn't get my money's worth.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and,
saying?
and that's a lot of the times when people be asking me about my MK11 and comparisons, because I'm like, regardless of your gripes, you feel like that you got your bang for your buck. So regardless of what you don't like, breakaway, etc., you've got your money's worth. I can't speak to MKX because I didn't buy it. Well, I bought it, but I didn't play it much, right? But my thing with this one is that. And there was a time too, like I wanted like an official relationship with NRS based on like all my Mortal Kombat 11 coverage, because I probably got like 1,000 Mortal Kombat 11 videos online in like different ways, right? But when I started voicing my concerns about Mortal Kombat 1 and like the limitations and shit, I understand that people like got to make their money because they got official relationships, but I also look at the scenario like with Tekken and Street Fighter 6, and it's like some people have kind of had to bite the bullet on things that they've said and maybe like lost their relationships. I know something like that might have happened with Rip when he was being like a little too honest. But at the same time, the game is around and it's going to sustain because people are telling the truth. The thing that I worry about with us is like, okay, if it's, let's say, a 1% of creators that are making money because they saying all the right things about the game, they got a big audience, where does that leave everybody else when the game dies or when it fails? And so I think that on one hand, while you do want to make your money because you're saying positive stuff, if you keep saying things to the point that it's misleading everybody and they don't want to pay, then you're not going to be able to make money off of it in the future anyway. So I feel like it's best to tell like constructive criticism at the very least. You can't just lie and be like, oh, this game is so awesome, or I hope for this. And I'm not going to say nobody names, but we obviously like know who the people are that do that shit. And it's like, I get you got to make your money, but if the franchise dies, I mean, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And it's only dying because we accepting it. If we don't accept this, they got to stop doing it. Or they just let the franchise die and we move on, one or the other. But we can't act like this shit is good anymore because it's not good overall.
I mean, there's plenty of good constructive criticism that the game developers can listen to if they choose, But it's like, do they listen to it? Or because some of these balance changes that they made to the game, man, it seems like they don't listen and they just do what they want to do. Even this last balance patch, I see the whispers. It's like people are not happy with this balance patch. I'm like, damn, they ain't come through on the last balance patch. But yeah, bro, I hope that NRS or whoever ends up developing the next game, because I don't know what the hell is gonna happen with this little business transaction that's going on. But hopefully whoever is making the next title or when it gets made, they actually listen to people who are trying to give good constructive criticism and point them in the right direction of what they need to do to bring the scene back to the forefront. Because I mean, bro, how you go from the big three, bro, bro, to like
you're not even in the conversation no more. Like almost a laughing stock type shit.
Not even in the conversation, bro. Like, not even like it's horrible, bro. And if you don't need any other wake up call, this is the wake up call. Like they ain't no way around this one. You gotta do your big one, bro. Like,
do you got faith,
like,
or do you have any optimism,
bro? It's like I'm saying, like, where do you go from here? Are you gonna roll the dice again? Because that's what they've been doing. Are you hoping to get another lightning in the bottle?
I mean, I'm gonna give them some credit on it. Like MK11 was, if they were to make, I'm not like, obviously we have our gripes about the game, like, so I'm not talking about the game itself. I'm just talking about like a dollar's perspective and like making sales. If they could do whatever they did with MK11 again, they would be happy. So in my opinion, the only failure that they really have is MK1. Even if you don't prefer MK11 over MKX, I'm just talking about from like a dollars and cents perspective. They did the right thing with MK11 in their own eyes. I don't know how the fuck you got MK1. I don't know how that happened. Period. Even outside of just like the gameplay itself, just like the shit at the beginning, like not having lobbies, not having crossplay, not having the online point. It's just like how that shit happened from the same team. It's almost like, yo, did y'all hire a completely different squad? Because how does this happen? And that's what makes it feel so disappointing. So
it happens because you don't build. You fucking tear everything down, right?
and you want to start from scratch. So when you do shit like that, it don't give you time for shit like lobbies and a proper offline mode and shit that will keep casuals around because you spent too much time trying to reinvent the wheel with these new mechanics, new moves. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to, because you're not only trying to balance the core characters, you're trying to balance cameos. Like, so it's like you don't have enough time to put out a complete game because you didn't build off shit that would allow that. So say if they did say, hey, we're gonna build off MK11, we're gonna fix everything that people complained about, but it's gonna be primarily the same game. We might in the same moves. The moves might look a little different, but these are moves that our audience is familiar with. You know what I'm saying? But they just look a little different, so we can have the game look like it's a updated brand new game. At that point, it's like you didn't spend as much time because it was already there, right? So it's like, all right, we ain't really got to focus on this like that. We kind of know what we want to do because we kept a legacy. Now we can focus more on proper story mode, offline modes, and things of that nature that's going to keep not only the competitors around, but a casual audience and keep them coming back for more. When you don't do that, then you kind of like most of your time is going to go into trying to make sure that those core mechanics and the shit that you put in the game, trying to reinvent the wheel, trying to make sure that shit functions, and then try to catch up with everything else on the back burner. And you see how that shit go, bro. Like that still got features that are not in the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then what was that mode that was in MK1 that everybody was so curious about?
Invasions?
When they finally dropped, no. It was another one, and then when they finally dropped, everybody was like, "Man, this is what it is." I think it was like a leaderboard or some shit.
Oh, you talking about Warrior Shrine? We thought that shit was like an item, and it was just a fucking leaderboard. It was like, come on, bro, y'all playing this like?
Exactly,
hey, I remember that shit. Yeah.
Bro, it's like, bro, what are we doing, bro? Like, what are we doing, bro? Like,
Because my thing is, I wonder, and I guess like this would be like saying it in bad faith, but it almost wonders like, there's no way that they doing this cash grab shit on purpose. Like, because my thing is this. MK1 almost feels like, you know how sometimes like when there's like a big stake situation like with a company or like a merger or just something like that, obviously like Mortal Kombat is really big business. Some of the things that happen in Mortal Kombat 1 are damn near fireable offenses, you know what I'm saying? If you was in any other type of industry, it's kind of like you're really just, you're not able to hemorrhage money and make those type of decisions. Like I work in corporate marketing, and it's like, if I took certain things about our brand and I just put up the absolute wrong thing or the wrong messaging, I would get fired. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's too many people seeing what I'm doing because I'm responsible for accounts that have a couple 100,000 followers. That's essentially what they did. And I'm surprised, like, I wonder, well, they did reshift some things around within leadership, but I just wonder who they got rid of and like who they kept, or like what was their reasoning behind certain things, because Mortal Kombat 1 comes off as almost like a fireable offense type of product. For real, for real.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And that's why I got faith for the next game, though, because it's like, if you do that bad, you have to know, like, your back is against the wall for this next one. You can't drop the ball.
I can't. I want to have faith, bro, but it can go either way, man. Either they can get, and I'm gonna call it luck. Either they can get lucky and bring it back, or more so because we got two perfect examples with shit just going downhill. I know you like MK11, but it sold well, but those sales didn't reflect how it really like turned out, you know what I'm saying, towards the end. Like those sales didn't reflect like with popularity. It wasn't a really popular game like that. You know what I'm saying? It just went downhill in terms of numbers as it carried on. And then so that did damage to the scene, and then even worse with MK1. So it's like you 2 for 2. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, and so it's hard, man. And then you gotta scrap everything. You gotta scrap this whole bullshit timeline. Like you gotta scrap that shit.
True, but at the same time, they kind of, because of how you was praising MKX and what he did for the scene, they kind of know where to start. It's not as if they're coming from scratch. Like, it's like, okay, we need to go back to the drawing board, but let's just look at what we did that was successful, that people loved and we got feedback on. So it's not like they start out in the dark, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what makes MK1 so unacceptable, because it's like, yeah, I know what the fuck to do. Why y'all just didn't do what already worked? That's what's weird about the shit. So like that's kind of why I got faith, because it's not as if they've given us 3 or 4 or 5 bad games in a row and they trying to create something new. All they got to do is just go back to what the fuck works and enhance it, and they'll be fine. That's why I think they should never even consider making an Injustice game, because it's like Injustice don't got the cachet that Mortal Kombat does, and you guys have a formula for Mortal Kombat, so just like work off of it. Stop trying to do new shit and just like get back in the kitchen with the right staff and make the ingredients properly. That's how I feel about it.
Injustice, when you look at Injustice 2, that shit had a lot of content, bro.
It did. The skins and
It had
shit.
a lot of content, and you know why? Because they decided to keep that bitch legacy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I never played part 1. I saw clips of part 1, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot of Batman same moves when I saw it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it gave them time to focus on those other areas. And bro, I was a little casual for that fucking game. Even though I played it competitively, like I was always grinding for gears and shit. Like I stayed doing that shit because it was so much shit to get in. And then you would get gear for other characters by just playing the game. You know what I'm saying? And the customization was dope. But then you go from Injustice 2 customization, and then you go to like MK11 customization, and it was like barely, you know what I'm saying? It was like night and day.
Well, I liked it, but you know, they had the thing, because Injustice 2 is the game I came back to playing fighting games online. Like, that was before I made content. I think I made Dragon Ball FighterZ maybe when I made content, but Injustice 2 was like the last fighting game that I played just for fun, right? And the only thing that they did wrong that MK11 got right, but then they didn't have the amount of gear, was not putting like the stats on the gear, where it's just purely cosmetic.
Yeah,
Because they did have a gang of shit though.
I really wasn't into like the whole stat thing. I just wanted to get like the gear because it was way more customizable. You had like shit for like your boots, for your knees, elbows, chest piece, head piece. Like, just it was way more customizable. Whereas MK11, it was pretty much kind of stuck with what you had, what they decided they want to give you.
Yeah, three pieces in the skin, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, yeah, I agree with you, bro. Like, they need to go back and reevaluate, see what was really popular or resonated with people, and bring that back to the forefront. And as far as like story wise, bruh, they should have went with what they ended MK11 with, and that was the Great Kung Lao. I would love to go
Bro,
back.
I thought that's where we was going. I couldn't believe
That's
that.
what I thought too, bro. Yeah.
Do you remember when? Do you remember when? I think it might have been the Game Awards. I remember when they finally showed the Mortal Kombat 1 trailer. I was so hyped, and every once in a while, like in my memories, it'll pop back up. I looked so excited about what we thought was coming, and then when we got the game, it was like, nah, because like even the way that Liu Kang came floating down, and he's like the fire god now. So I'm thinking Kung Lao gonna be like the Great Kung Lao and still have his same role. And when we got the game, it was just like, how the fuck did we get this? You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make sense. Like, they had so much hype going into that game, and I couldn't believe when it came out.
Yeah. I was hoping that my boy was gonna get some love, man. I was looking for more of a serious, toned, Great Kung Lao, seeing who existed back in those times. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I'm not really familiar too much with the MK lore like that, but I would say like the Great Kung Lao was like a couple of thousand years before the first MK tournament or something like that. It was some years.
Yeah.
But I would definitely like to see like characters from that time, a story from that time, because I'm just so tired of and let's keep it in those times, because I'm so tired of this Marvel-esque type stuff, bro, where it's the multiverses. And I think in MK1 they even had some stuff that was, because I didn't play the story mode, but I seen that Havoc had some like infinity looking stones.
Yeah, I didn't play Chaos. I didn't play MK1 Chaos Reigns. Like, I was done. I think I played the first story, but after I was like, I'm done with this shit. Like, I bought it, but I didn't even play it.
Yeah, it's like, how long are we going? Because we've been doing timelines since what? MK9?
Yeah.
Like, how long are we gonna do this, bro? Like, we got two versions of each character, and then you had these Titans. They talking about these Titan characters in MK1. It's like, what the fuck is this shit, bro? Like, let's just keep it simple. Go back to one timeline. They could just have to where Liu Kang resets it back, go back to the Great Kung Lao, and then let's just rock out in that timeline, bro, and do it that way.
Yeah, even Raiden not being a Thunder guy but having a Thunder amulet, it's just like it's so much build up. Like imagine Captain America being Iron Man and Iron Man being Captain America. It's like, what are y'all doing? Because that's basically what the fuck they did.
And they took away Hanzo, bro. Like, what are we doing, bro? They took away Hanzo, dog.
Yeah.
Like Scorpion is not a badass in MK1 anymore. The man got a man bun and shit. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like it's like damn near a fireable offense because you just look at it as a whole. I mean, you don't have to have like marketing experience. You don't have to have storytelling experience, none of that. Just based on the things you've seen the past 20 years, then you look at this game and it's just like, yo, how did this, because obviously it's a team of people, you think to yourself, how did this actually get greenlit to even start production? That's what I think like when I see it. It's like, who the fuck in the room said, hey, we gonna make Scorpion Kuai Liang, and then somebody else said, that's a great idea. I don't know how they got off the floor. Like, shit.
Yeah, I don't like the whole these all. I seen a little bit of the story, bro, and it's just so many questionable shit that I see. And I don't like all the relationships that these characters are having. Like I seen one where it was like Rain and Tanya, and I'm like, bro, what is going on? Like they were like married or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, what is this, bro? Like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah,
for
bro.
real.
It's like why? Like just I don't know, bro. But yeah, they have to be successful with this next title, whatever it may be, because you've already rubbed so many people the wrong way. $20 fatalities, bro. You remember that?
Yeah, yeah, like that's why I'm saying like it's kind of nowhere to go but up because I mean, like over time you kind of forget because you be playing the game, you playing other games, you trying to just enjoy what you already purchased. But in reality, like when we really go back to like the start of this might be the worst release AAA franchise fighting game I can think of in my life. Because and the only thing about it is that it's only so mind-blowing because let's say that like we had MKX and then we had MK11 and then we had like some other subpar product and then we got to MK1. It would make more sense. How you go from the content packaging of Mortal Kombat 11 to this, it's like it's not even the same team. And that was always, and it's kind of almost like you usually rely on history to like kind of like predict the future. So you would think to yourself, like, okay, they made a mistake, they gonna get it right. And it was just blunder after blunder after blunder. And it's just like, how is this possible? Because this has to be the same team that made Mortal Kombat 11. Are y'all under different time? And on top of that came out during COVID. So you had like a real life obstacle in a way where you don't have any of that now, and you didn't even do like 1/3 of what you did in Mortal Kombat 11. It just don't make sense. That's why I said it's a fireable offense, because it just, from a logical perspective as a customer, I don't understand how any of this even fucking happened.
Ain't it weird, like how different or in looks and play that these games are from MK9 to MKX to MK11 to MK1?
Yeah.
And it's always hard for me to go back and play those games once they're done and their life cycle is up. I always find it hard to go back and play the older NRS titles. I don't know why it's like that. And it's probably because it's not when I compete in them. Yeah, and it's been this way for a minute. I remember when I won Combo Breaker against Sonic, Combo Breaker 2019?
Mm-hmm.
And I won, but I was happy that I won because for my training partner at the time, Kevo. But I didn't have any enjoyment really anymore at that point for competition wise, because I had put myself through just competing, because I love competing, right? But I just didn't love the games at that point. Like, I had put myself through Injustice 2. I really didn't like Injustice 2, but I was getting paid to play Injustice 2. I didn't like MK11, you know what I'm saying? But I was getting paid to play MK11. And then you got MK1, and I was just like, yeah, I'm just done. I'm not even going to put myself through just the mental torture of playing a game when I don't really have any passion for, because I had did it with 2 previous titles. And so it's like, yeah, I feel like I just lost that passion ever since X. And that's because, a lot of my peers left too. And this is this is the sad thing about it, man. Like a lot of my peers, like now when I go to these, when I showed up, there was an ECT for MK1, and I'm like, bro, I don't know none of these people like that, you know.
It was
Like
almost like a reunion for the previous ones, is what you saying.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's a big part of uh, it's not only the fighting games, bro. It's the community aspect and going to see people and linking up with people that you've been knowing for years. And for us older cats, we don't got that no more. You know what I'm saying? Most of our peers have moved on because the passion wasn't kept, man, and the developer removed, people, those older people, willingness to travel and compete in these games off the love and passion. So now when I show up to these tournaments, bro, it's just a new generation, and that's what they wanted. They got what they wanted. They wanted a new generation. We don't have uh, old cats still hanging around like the Tekken scene and the Street Fighter scene.
Let me
I
ask
mean,
you a
they still
question.
around, but they more so talk about the game and online, but they're not really going to tournament.
Let me ask you a question to follow up on that, and it's not necessarily, it's not to put you on the spot, so like don't take it that way. But I remember like I had interviewed Ninja like last year sometime. We played some Tekken together, and we ended up having a conversation at the back end of us playing, and we were talking about like balancing and kind of how the NRS Dev Team, potentially behind closed doors or just like on the inner workings, how they kind of prioritize what they do in certain ways. So Ninja had. And I don't think he was being malicious. I think he was just kind of saying it like matter of fact, because I think I asked the question based on like some rumors. But I was asking him like, does he feel that the dev team listens to pro players in regards to balancing based on like, who all they want to represent the game or like who they want to be in the scene? And Ninja had pretty much said in so many words that if you're not Sonic Fox, they're not listening to anybody else about balancing. So when you just mentioned that they wanted to bring in like new faces, is that something that you guys all kind of feel? Is that something that you guys have conversations about? Like, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, I'm just asking, is that kind of like a feeling like, hey, you're kind of ushering out some of us older guys or more legacy guys for like this new intention direction that y'all want to go? Like, is that like a real feeling that you guys all have, or is that more like it's
a
not
reality. It's a reality.
Truthfully?
Yeah, it's a reality, bro. Like, you see it. You see it right now. Like,
Well, it's different for me because I'm on the outside looking in because I don't have like the lore and the history and the relation. So that's why I'm asking you, why not trying to put you on the spot? Like, so when you say that, like, what do you mean exactly?
well, I'm saying that they wanted to do out with the old and in with the new. Now, as far as I feel like balancing wise, and they might listen to some stuff, but I mean, I'm not in there with them, so I can't really say. Um, but I feel like with NRS, um, they'll take some things into consideration, but at the end of the day, they gonna do what they want with their game, clearly. Um, but if we're talking about like Sonic Fox, I think like what we're saying, like Sonic Fox has direct influence on how they balance.
Yeah, Ninja felt like that if you're not Sonic Fox, they're not really taking into consideration anything about balancing unless you're him. And that kind of shocked a lot of people when he said it in my video. And like, he said it like he didn't sound malicious, like he was trying to make an accusation. It just kind of was like, that seems to be what a lot of you guys feel.
I wouldn't say nah. When you say you guys, I don't.
Well,
I don't feel like
he
that.
said pro players. Like he said it as if he was speaking for more people. It's an older video, so I don't want to misquote him because I'm not trying to like stir up anything. But it was more so in a nutshell. He just said, if you're not Sonic Fox, they don't give a fuck what you got to say. That's pretty much what he said, word for word.
I mean, Sonic Fox is the face, so I'm pretty sure they see whatever Sonic posts. But at the end of the day, that developer is gonna do what they want to do with their game. You know, we can put our 2 cents in, but at the end of the day, uh, yeah, they make the final decision. So I can't really, uh, speak to that. I just feel like we just give our input, and either they take that in consideration or they don't, and they do what they gonna do. But yeah, man, we seeing it in real time that they clearly wanted to go a different direction. They didn't want to keep legacy. They didn't want to keep uh, the people who've been around here from the jump or the last 15 years. They didn't want to keep those people around. They clearly have a different direction that they wanted to go. You see it written all over um, MK1. You know, it's not. It doesn't even feel like MK, bro.
Yeah, it don't to
It's
me. It don't. It don't. I
yeah.
say it all the time. It don't feel. It don't look. It don't play like. I try to. As I said, I try to play yesterday because I heard about like Liu Kang buffs and even like the thing that you said about some characters feeling complete. As a Liu Kang player, I was fighting against Shao yesterday, and it was like, so Shao got an overhead and a low starter, and Liu Kang has neither. Why does this make sense to me? And granted, I know he got better zoning. I get some balancing, but it's just like every character should be able to mix to some extent just to keep the game interesting and keep everybody on their toes. But it's like it feels that he's reliant on the cameo to get any mix, and that's very frustrating. As because he had mixed in Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah. Did you play Wait, you said you played MKX, right?
I played it like sparingly. I played 11. I grew my audience in 11. People told me I should go check out X. So then I went and played Scorpion and Jitsu, and I had a little bit of fun. But it was like, I'd rather just play Mortal Kombat 11. But I think I might want to go back and play because when I watch clips of like Liu Kang players, that shit look exciting.
Yeah, that character broke.
Yeah,
But people would tell me, man, like when I would tell people like, yeah, man, y'all should go back and play MKX. But people would be like, oh, that 50-50 fest. Like that people would swear up and down like MKX just has the worst 50-50s out of any of the games. And it's like if you go to MK1, bro, they mixing just as heavy.
yeah, they are.
Like MK1 is mixing, bro. Like what are we talking about, bro? And you don't really have any kind of defensive options, you know. They should have really put push block in that game. I don't know why they didn't do that. But that game is like hella offensive, bro. And MKX was too, but I don't feel like it's to the extent of what MK1 is. MK1 is mixing you traditionally and in some other crazy ass ways, bro. So it's like,
Yeah, I hate the whole do someone safe and then call cameo no matter how
oh
stupid it is. Like that shit is
man,
obnoxious.
bro.
Cause and I get some
Yeah,
games where it's like you extend pressure like with an assist, but it's like if you guys are gonna make like an assist based game, you gotta really understand how one works because you can't just do some unsafe shit. I punish it, then you call striker and knock me out of my punish. That shit is
so you know what?
infuriating.
I can't talk shit though. I can't talk
I
shit.
use it too, but I'm just saying I'm gonna use it because it's on the game, but it's fucking stupid from a design perspective.
Nah, I'm just saying because people would call me out because I'm a demo Sonya player and that's basically what her ass do. She'll throw something on the screen and then you gotta hold that shit. She'll mix your shit. So it's kind of like in MK1. It's kind of like it's the same thing. It's like let me back off, wait till I can throw this cameo out and then do some dumb shit and then you gotta hold that shit. All right, GG's. You know what I'm saying? So I know people will come from me in the comment section like, hold on, how you gonna talk shit? You play demo.
I think I seen a video of you playing too. Like I think it might have been you versus Sonic. I remember seeing like some of your Sonya play a while back. I was just randomly on YouTube like maybe a year ago, and that shit did look a little bit crazy because she had some setup stuff going on that I didn't understand. That shit because she like don't she put some in the air and like got grenades she can put on the ground or some shit like that?
So yeah, she was dumb because you can throw a bomb on the screen like an electric grenade. Like I do like an overhead load, throw a grenade out, and then even if you hit me, I can still detonate that grenade and get a trade for full combo. So it's like you really had to respect that bomb, and then not only did you have to respect the bomb once I throw it out on the screen, you got Sonya in your face, and now you got to hold the mix. So it was a fucked up character. But MKX, everybody had, and that's what makes a good game, bro. That's what makes a good.
If everybody
so much
broken, ain't nobody
character
broken. That's how I feel.
Exactly.
I say that shit all the time about Dragon Ball Fighters. Everybody broken, ain't nobody broken.
If everybody can get their shit off, bro, you gonna get good character representation. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the problem with MK1 too. Like you had those, and I think that's a problem with it's a little bit of a problem with City of the Wolves right now. It's like the same 4 to 5 characters. But that's because nobody is really as broken or got as much dumb shit as the top tiers. But if we can have everybody, all the characters be a threat, and everybody have their dumb shit, and I guess you could say fuck it, everybody broken, then shit.
then you get more character representation, and who's to say who's gonna stand out on the top? You know what I'm saying? Any character, you know what I'm saying? So that's great. If we can have a broken game and get some character variety, and people can use who they want to use, and still have a shot at at least a top 8, I think that's a great game.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Um, people gonna complain. People hate broke shit, but no game is ever gonna be completely balanced, bro. It's just no way. And if you do have a completely balanced game, it's probably gonna be a boring game, honestly.
Yeah, for real.
Look at Marvel 2. People still love that fucking game, bro. Like, and yeah, it got broke shit in it, but shit, they keep it around for all these years. So.
That's how I feel about DBFZ. As I said, it made me want to make content, and that shit came out 8 years ago, and that motherfucker getting a new DLC next year. New DLC.
Wait.
Dragon Ball FighterZ came out in 2018. They getting
Yeah.
SS4 Goku comes out next spring, so they still adding DLC. They restoring the battle hour and all that. So that's kind of why I always speak to that game when it comes to assist games, and that's why MK1 pissed me off so much, because it's like, I played what I consider to be the best tag fighter, which I honestly consider to be the best fighting game of all time. Some people don't agree with me, of course, because that's just that's just preference. I think it's the best fighting game of all time, but I'm also got like some biasness to it, which I'm aware of. But at the same time, it's like, you need to make games that can stay around for that long. It feels like Tekken will be along in that ballpark. It feels like Street Fighter will be around, and I just hope that Mortal Kombat can kind of come back and make something like that, where we can at least get like a 5-year window.
Tekken is going through. I think Tekken is feeling a little bit of that NRS. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't really have legacy like that anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
true. But they got just enough. Whereas like the old players are going to stick around because it's enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some shit that get on your nerve, but it's not a completely new thing. You know. And even with them, when we was talking about like the university or like the unity of the community, when all that shit was going on in season 1, where they was just making obnoxious dumbass shit in the early season 2, the player base like really unified and kind of got them to pull back somewhat. They didn't fully pull back, but they pulled back to some extent. But like, if nobody complained, it wouldn't be Tekken at all. But that's not what we do in Mortal Kombat community at all.
That's not what we do.
Because there's too many people who like too many different things. So.
Yep. And yeah, man, it's nothing's gonna get done when it comes to voicing your opinion online. When it comes to NRS games, it's just so toxic, bro. Online is just so toxic. But when you go offline, there's none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, it's all peaceful, bro. It's all peace. But when you go online for the NRS community, bro, it's like, why even bother? Why even bother voicing your opinion?
Well,
it's going. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, we're gonna find out in the comment section of this video, because I mean, it's 2 people essentially saying they don't like Mortal Kombat 1, and I always get those Mortal Kombat 1 defenders in my comments no matter what. And they'll be like, oh, you're hating on the game. And it's like, bro, it's kind of like what you said. It's like, we want to see it do well, so we got to voice our concerns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't care, bro. I don't care about what people say, bro. It's because it's like, I look at it like this, bro. People love you till you open your mouth, man. You know what I'm saying? Till you start talking too much, bro. And then you see who really fuck with you. So, I mean, I say what I say, and either you gonna like it or you gonna got some shit to say about it. But, I look at most people who are not in my circle. I didn't really know you yesterday. Don't care to know you today. If you support me and you resonate with what I say, that's cool. If you don't like it and you're respectful about it, cool. But if you don't like it and just talking shit and being on some dumb shit, then it's fuck you. So
I say like all the time, and it's funny because I was gonna wrap this up soon because we closing on the hour. But it was like, I say all the time, the weirdest thing about making content, specifically like in the Mortal Kombat community, whenever I say some people don't agree with, even though I'm not saying it on purpose, I'm just voicing like what I thought about in that moment, somehow I gain followers for that. It's the weirdest shit ever. Like, every time I piss the timeline off, I just get a whole bunch of new followers. But it's like, whatever I'm saying, I'm not trying to trigger the community. I just really think the shit that I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And some people are like cool about it. Like, even when I saw your answer and you was like, this is how the money dried up, and I was like, yo, Scar, like, would you want to kind of elaborate on that? Because we'll have some people say stuff like that, but then they won't like go on with it. Or like, Tom has like all the knowledge in the world, and I see he gets hated on all the time. But it's like, hey, Clearly, he knows what he's talking about, because I mean, he just pulls up MK knowledge off the top of his head like a fucking ESPN reporter. It's kind of insane, actually. And the thing is, and the thing I be telling people in my videos, that's not phony when he does that, because there's been times when I talked to Tom on the phone and we wasn't doing content. He talks that exact same fucking way on the phone, exact same way. Shit is crazy.
Yeah, that boy got so much. I don't see how he remember everything that he remember. He remember so much shit.
Like instantly though, like instantly without stuttering, he just calls this shit up, and I'm like, damn, like he be making me feel like I should just sit back and listen to what he's saying, because it's like
I
you
barely
just
remember what the fuck I ate for breakfast yesterday and shit.
that shit is insane. That shit is insane. But nah, I appreciate you coming through, bro. I'm going to get this up. I hope that people can kind of like get some perspective from it, especially younger players who weren't really around for the older games. And like even me, as I said, I bought X, but I didn't really play it. I didn't really understand the appeal to non, because I didn't play that either. But I am curious to see if we can get back to a point where they actually take a unified approach on the next Mortal Kombat and then keep it that way, because you can't just keep making these random ass games to keep the community divided. And they kind of shooting themselves in the foot by doing it, because it's like you're making it harder to sell the game because there's too many different versions of the game that people like. You need to make one thing for like the next 4 games straight and enhance it, and then you'll get that consistency in sales.
Hey man, I can't say it better for myself. But hey man, I just want to say to the watchers right now, Fatal Fury 67% off, all free DLC. Got Ken, Chun-Li, Mr. Big, Andy, and Joe Higashi. So if you want to come play a great fighting game, check out City of the Wolves.
I might check that motherfucker out myself too. Shit, for real. I need
Nah,
some.
bro,
Either that, or I'm gonna go back and play MKX, because I am kind of like in a game crisis right now. I don't really like know what I want to play.
Man, come on over to the city, bro. You always welcome.
For sure, bro. I appreciate you coming through, dog.
For sure, man. You be easy, man.
Have a good one, bro.
All right, brother.
Peace.